Okay, we are live. Welcome. This is, let's see, it's March 29th, 10 p.m. So I'm planning on doing these live streams every day, Monday through Sunday, and different topics, whatever's happening in my day. It's going to be like a vlog, but today I wanted to talk about how two perspectives and two things have significantly changed my life. And yesterday I spoke about some health things that really impeded my life and made certain things a struggle. But today I want to talk about how to get things done and decluttering my life, your life. And so in doing so, I hope I can outline some things that maybe will help you, but there's certainly things that have helped me. Now, I used to be the kind of person that would procrastinate like crazy. I always waited for the last minute to do anything. A lot of that had to do, I believe, with the fact that I had Hashimoto's and hemochromatosis, two conditions that make you tired all the time. So the only time I would do something is when it became absolutely necessary and the deadline was looming, so that the adrenaline would kick in and I could finish whatever it was that I was working on, whatever I had to do. So that, I can remember as a kid in school waiting for deadlines on reports that were due, waiting till the last day. My Eagle Scout, Boy Scout project, I was cementing in volleyball posts on my 18th birthday, which is the last day you have to complete your Eagle project. And so, I have a lot of experience in putting things off. Along with not having energy and putting things off is messes and clutter. And I've always hated clutter, and I would intentionally, when I had a room to myself as a child, I always kept as much stuff out or as clean as I possibly could. I hated taking things out because it would create a mess, and then I wouldn't have the energy to deal with it. And so those types of things affected everything I did, even down to owning a townhome rather than a regular home, so that someone else would do the work for me. Fast forward, after I used to own an art gallery. We opened it in the Christmas season. When the economy tanked, I had to find a different type of business. And I got into the worst type of business for my personality of not having energy to deal with things. And it turned me kind of into a hoarder. We would buy pallets and pallets of salvaged freight on auction. At one point, we bought an entire semi-truckload. Well, no, at several points we did that. Well, one was, I guess it was a moving van. The other times, it was a semi-truckload. But my house was full of those Costco racks with bins and just tons of stuff. And it turned me into a hoarder because I would look at something with value and say, no, I can sell that. It was terrible. It was a terrible state to be in. It was a terrible home to be in. My garage was full of stuff that needed to be sold. My basement was full of racks of things that were being sold online on different stores. And eventually I was able to sell the business. I was contacted by somebody who's interested in buying an auction type business they could run from home. I told them everything about it, how it works, how much it was hard work. I wanted to be totally honest, but we were taking our company in a different direction. Then, that was like possibly 5 years ago, maybe even 6 years ago now. And I'm still recovering from all of the stuff that I have, and from the mindset that it kind of imprinted into me of, oh no, you hold on to this, you could sell this. But I've gotten to the point now where it's like, if I'm not making $100 or $50, or I can't get rid of it very quickly if I sold it, I just get rid of it. Now there's 2 books that have helped me immensely. And by the way, there's a chat window. If those of you watching want to comment or ask questions during the live stream, and then after this is a live stream, it will be posted as a regular video. Let me adjust the camera maybe just a bit here. I don't know if that's better. So you can ask questions and I will answer them either now or in a text response later. So that business created in me a mindset that I didn't like. I was holding on to things too much. So there's 2 things that have really helped me. 1 with the procrastination and 2 with the clutter. The first one that crossed my path was this book and lectures by this guy named David Allen. And he has a strategy that he calls getting things done. I won't go through the whole thing, but it's the art of stress-free productivity. Basically, what he outlines for you is how to create a system that allows you to get everything that you need to done in a way that your mind can be totally empty, totally uncluttered. And I have a link in the description below of where you can pick up that book. So how to get things done in a way that your mind is not carrying the burden. And some of the important things that he points out is whatever the system it is that you use, be it like a to-do list software or written down, it has to be something that you trust. It has to be something that is consistent. So if you have a bunch of emails of like I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. And so I have systems in place that organize them all. And then I have like this bin of, I don't know, I got to go through that once in a while. But it's a system that you have to be able to trust. If you don't trust it 100%, you're not going to use it. And you're not going to get things done. Your mind is going to still have to feel the pressure of, I have to remember this up here. And so I actually don't use a lot of iPhone apps because I found that I don't trust them. Half the time I'll get an update. Half the time I'll get a reminder. And so none of them help me. And so I don't use reminders. I don't use any of that stuff through this. Now it's gotten better than the way it was when I first started using it. So maybe I'll go back to it. But there's a quote from Albert Einstein, and it applies both to the getting things done principle and the Konmari, Marie Kondo, decluttering your life that I'll get to in a minute. So this quote from Albert Einstein, let me see if I can pull it up here. I just had it, and I believe I put it in the description video. Let's see if I can find it. So I see there's a few people watching. Would you mind letting me know, because this is the first time, one of the first live chats that I've done, or live streams. So would you mind letting me know if this live stream is functioning in the chat window, if it looks good, if you can hear me okay? So here's what the quote is from Albert Einstein. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. Or make things as simple as possible, but not simpler. So our lifestyles need to be as simple as possible. If we go too simple, we start losing and missing out on things. If we go obviously too complicated, it becomes a massive burden and you get to a point where you can't function. You either don't have enough time or you have too much stuff and you can't maneuver. And so I am getting rid of a lot of things in my life. A lot of projects that I thought that I would have time to do. If I take too many projects on, I don't have any time, and I have too much in my head, so I'm paralyzed. It becomes a paralyzation rather than opportunities. So Marie Kondo, I put a link to her book as well in the description. What she does is she goes through and says she helps people declutter with physical, tangible things in a process that is very helpful. And I've applied it in a lot of ways to a lot of things, and I'm still going through. Like I said, I'm still recovering from that business that just consumed so much of my time and so much of the space in this house, and it turned me into a hoarder to an extent. Not not like what you see on the show Hoarders. So basically what she does, so I'll take this book, for example, right here, this book. What you do is you go through your things and one by one you assess them, and you assess all of your books at one time, you assess all of your tools, all of your clothes at one time, hold it in your hands, you look at it, and you ask, does it bring me joy? Does this thing bring me joy? Does it have a purpose? And if the answer is no, and if the answer is, I kind of like it, kind of like it is not joy. So if it does not bring you joy and it does not have a vital purpose in your life, get rid of it. And just the psychological impact that has is so significant. It frees your mind. It is so nice to walk into a room that's not full of junk. It really is. And so I've been applying both the David Allen Getting Things Done principles and the Marie Konmari, and she's got a long title to what she calls it, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, the Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing by Marie Kondo. Both of these are listed in the description below if you're interested. So they work. They really work. And they're full of very helpful points in getting things done and streamlining your life. So there's a quote, a couple parts that I'll read through here. I don't like to read too much in a live stream. It just kind of changes everything. So here's one of the things that I'll address. In my business, I have a printing business, and I would get requests. Well, this was really in every aspect of the business, even before I had the printing business, where I wouldn't return phone calls. I wouldn't even answer the phone half the time, or emails of potential sales would just fall flat because I wasn't organized. So he addresses ineffective personal organization systems, or the lack entirely thereof, create huge subconscious resistance to undertaking even bigger projects and goals that will likely not be managed well, and that will in turn cause even more distraction and stress. That's why probably I didn't answer phone calls and I didn't reply to most emails during those times. I'm a lot better now. So he talks about being in a ready state, like martial artists are trained to be always ready and always have a clear mind. And so he asks a question, what if you could dedicate fully 100% of your attention to whatever is at hand at your own choosing with no distraction? I have, let's see, they're right here. I have these. I need to do a review on these. These are life-changing. These are Bose noise-canceling headphones. And that helps me keep in that type of state with no distractions. But you can be in that without the noise-canceling headphones. I work at home and I've got kids, so that's if you work at home and you have kids, get those headphones. It will change your life. I'll put a link to those as well. Anything I address or talk about, I will put a link to. So he talks about moving with the natural force, and he uses an example from Craig Lambert, who is a world-class rower. This comes from his book, Mind Over Water. Rowers have a word for this frictionless state. Swing. Recall the picture of joyriding on a backyard swing, an easy cycle of motion, the momentum coming from the swing itself. The swing carries us. We do not force it. We pump our legs to drive our arc higher, but gravity does most of the work. We are not so much swinging as being swung. The boat swings you. Now he's talking about rowing. The shell wants to move fast. Speed sings in its lines and nature. Our job is simply to work with the shell of the boat, to stop holding it back with our thrashing struggles to go faster. Trying too hard sabotages boat speed. That's fascinating. And we'll talk about trying versus actually just being in the right state of mind. Trying too hard sabotages boat speed. Trying becomes striving, and striving undoes itself. Social climbers strive to be aristocrats, but their efforts prove them no such thing. Aristocrats do not strive. They have already arrived. Swing is a state of arrival. So, decluttering our lives and having systems in place that we trust, and having things as simple as possible, but not simpler and no more complex than they need to be, allow us to be in the state that lets us function in the present. And we'll talk about that more in a future, I was going to say podcast. This is almost like a podcast, in a future episode of being in a state of awareness. So those things are, those two books, these two philosophies, if you will, have really added great value to my life. I have been getting a lot more done. And as I as I declutter the things in my life that don't bring me joy, I have found immense pleasure in just walking into a room. It's very, it brings me joy to walk into rooms that are not cluttered and that serve a purpose and that bring me joy. So that was one of the things that I wanted to address in my vlog. Okay, well that sums up the live stream for today. Let me know what you think in the comments section about this, or if you have any thoughts to add. And also, if you want more videos like this, I will be addressing a very broad range of topics. Be sure to click the subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notifications. This live stream occurs every day, Monday through Sunday, at 10 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's Colorado, Utah time. And until next time, thanks for watching and have a good night. Bye.